Alright everybody, you've clicked this link because you want to know what a big chicken coop looks like, and so I'm going to show you. I brought along here my good friend.
Hello.
Okay, this is my good friend here. He put the whole thing together and did a great job. So we're going to walk through it, and I'll show you kind of what he did, and he'll kind of explain what he did. Hopefully the video will be about 5 or 6 minutes. Let's go. So the original inspiration for this was, of course, chickens. And the foundation is 9 by 12, and I'll let the chicken guy explain it more.
All right, we on? We're on. This is the chicken coop, which is on a, what do we say, revived foundation. I think it was an old shed foundation that we just kind of repaired with some mortar, some bricks, and we laid down some treated 2x4s and bolted them down. As you can see, we bolted them nicely to the foundation and basically just went around and built the framing with 2x4s. We tried to keep this thing as light as possible and as roomy as possible. And you can notice the uprights here are just 2x2s. I mean, it's only holding chicken wire, and once you put this chicken wire on there, which is only a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square, it all holds together very nicely. And we just
explain the process of what we did first. When you first got here, what did it look like? What was the appearance of it? What did we have to do to the wall?
The wall, yes. We had to repair and level this wall and this foundation. This brick wall was pretty much coming apart, and the bricks had fallen off, so we just tuck pointed and remortared these bricks in here, as you can see, and basically tried to just get it back level as good as possible.
We also had to shore up the wall.
And yes, some of the foundation had completely crumbled, which we had to build a form for the foundation and re-pour concrete there.
Okay, what was the next step after that?
Well, that's what I kind of jumped, but it was the sill plate, I guess. You would call this a sill plate for the chicken coop. We just bolted that down and then started putting in the uprights.
So once we got the sill plates in and we got the uprights here, next thing we did was we had to make sure that the corners were upright and level and square and then reinforced. How did you go about doing that? What kind of method did you use?
Well, we did these 45s, right? At each corner we cut a board at a 45-degree angle on both ends and braced it at all 4 corners, at the bottoms and the tops. And once it was all level and square, we put the chicken wire on, attached the chicken wire.
Okay, let's talk
That's just the the main framing for the coop.
So let's talk about the coop
Or
now.
the chicken run, I guess you would call it a chicken run, right? I guess the coop or the house is a whole different animal.
So this house here, where was your inspiration from this? Did you get this off a blueprint?
No, we Jeff and I kind of just conjured this one up as we went.
Let's step back a little bit so people can see it. It's kind of too close.
Well, we kind of wanted it to match your existing sheds, you know,
over here.
The existing structures that were here, and we did our best to absolutely match that, and I think it turned out very nicely.
You have to go back even further. The zoom is not very zoom. The zoom is too zoom here. So that's the chicken structure there. So when we go inside, you'll see that we can stand up. We hit the top, but we can stand up on it and walk around. So that's pretty cool. Angle for the roof, that kind of impressed me. Explain how you got the angle for the roof. I mean, it's pretty standard, I guess. I just didn't know.
And we just, I don't know how we got the angle for the roof.
But it's really nice
To
because...
decide on the pitch?
Yeah. Well, you know what I like about the roof is that the roof matches not only the roof of the house right behind it, but also all the other roofs over here, along right down the row here. They're all pitched too. So that's very, very cool.
Well, we just wanted a little runoff and an overhang was the main thing. We don't have snow here in California, so you don't have to worry about having a super steep roof.
Mm-hmm.
But basically we just wanted a nice runoff, and a large overhang was my main concern to keep moisture or rain from dropping onto the coop.
Okay. So, how did they, let's see, so we have a walk-in door over here. Let's walk inside and show people what it looks like. For the floor, we used a redwood bark, I think it's redwood bark shavings. Laid that all over the floor, and they seem to be enjoying that quite well. And then I had extra sod from a sod installation, and I put that down, and they're going at that too. Go ahead and explain what these two doors are, Walt.
Okay, so the doors on this side, I guess we can just go ahead and show you. This is the roost, if you will, or this is where they sleep. And we just use some, I believe, closet dowels, you know. These are what you would put inside of your closet. And we just took a little wood bit, an auger bit, and drilled out some holes and some half-inch boards. And just fit them in there nice and tightly.
Explain the genesis or the reason.
Oh, and then we have chicken wire again at the top of the coop. That is to keep little pests from getting in or chickens getting out. And you can see the nesting boxes here on the side, off to the
Can you go
side,
outside and open the nesting box for the camera?
which are easily opened from the outside of the coop, so you don't have to come inside to get the eggs, which Maya is going to demonstrate. See, easily opened to grab eggs. And the nesting boxes are generally 12 by 12 inches, give or take.
Okay.
Little larger is better.
They're able to get in and out. You know what I really like is the framing here, this wood paneling that you put on, and the fact that you've been able to match up the design and keep the pattern true to the other sheds.
Well, we just cut out some square out of our sheathing, cut out some square pieces and I traced these from the inside. I just put a piece of board up here, and I just traced it from the inside. I gave it a 1/4 of an inch clearance, and then we stapled and glued these trim boards on.
Cool. And attach some locks here that are just something you can put a combination lock through, or some pin.
Yeah.
If you want, or just turn it and lock it by friction. Okay. This other door over here, I know what this does, because I filled it up a couple of times. There we go. Cool. This other door over here is a supply door, and explain why you thought that was a good idea.
So this is a storage space, and rather than having your storage door on the outside of the coop, everything is right there. Your feed, your new bedding. This way you don't have to drag it into the coop. It's all right here because you have to come into the coop to change the bedding anyway and to feed the chickens. So this is kind of convenient that it's all right inside the coop.
What do we have inside the coop?
Well, you would know better than I do. This is your coop.
Oh, that's true. So we have some crumble and some scratch. We buy about,
and a chicken.
Yeah, and a chicken. We buy about 3 50-pound, what are they, 50, 60, 80-pound bags?
Yeah,
They feel
50
heavy.
pounds.
So we buy 4 50-pound bags of each, chicken and scratch, and then take it home, mix it, and then blend it, and put it back in here. And then take it out as needed to fill up. The feeders that are down here, they're located on, just hooked up with the hook from the ceiling. Right up there. And it hangs above the ground because anything that spills, they can just pick up off the ground. The water over here is different. You can't hang the water because the weight of it will break the hinge. So
I hang mine. Mine's hung.
You're hung? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, mine is hung.
Great. So it's up to you. I guess you can hang it if you want.
It's ideal to have them off of the ground so they don't scratch dirt into your feed and water all the time. Because they constantly scratch and kick dirt up.
So it's fully encased here.
Hawk-proof, owl-proof, and rat-proof.
Now this wall here, this perimeter wall goes down about 4 feet, we think. So it's pretty impermeable to any other creatures. But if you do have creatures around and you don't have a nice retaining wall like this to protect yourself, you want to line the bottom with some wire also.
Yes, definitely some type of chicken wire on the bottom of your coop and then covered with sand and river gravel.
And that's not to keep the chickens from tunneling out per se, but it's to keep other things from tunneling in. Alright, you guys, thanks very much for watching the video. Ben, thank you, Chicken Guy, for coming over. Appreciate it.
Cluck, cluck.